Okay, so we've all heard, welcome back to the Jimmy Dore Show. This week I'm joined by Frank Conniff from Mystery Science Theater 3000. So, there's been a lot of right-wing talking points about the Medicare going on, right? So they're saying that Obama's taking money out of it when he really isn't. And they're saying Mitt Romney is making it stronger when he really isn't. So they're saying the exact opposite. And let's watch what happens when somebody tries to bull some right-wing talking points on Jake Tapper, right? Oh. Jake Tapper, the ABC newsman, he's going to set the record straight and correct all the misinformation he is about to
which
give.
is his job.
That's his job,
yes.
right? Okay, so
what President Obama did actually weakens Medicare. It takes $700 billion out of it and uses it to spend on a new entitlement, which is part of Obamacare. So it actually takes the money away from Medicare and spends it in a new way. And that's the wrong approach. That's actually going to hurt current beneficiaries right now. What Romney Ryan does is...
Okay, see, so that is a big load of hooey that guy is shoveling. And
I don't know how he could have the guts to say that in front of a
newsman?
A hard-hitting newsman.
Yeah,
wow.
Well, watch Jake...
I can't wait to see him get played here.
Watch Jake Tapper hands it to him. Watch.
Oh.
Okay. I only have a couple minutes left. I want to get both of your thoughts on some independent groups and questions.
Wow.
Wow. Bam! You've been tappered. You see what happens, Frank, when you try to pull something like that in front of a ABC newsman? You know what happens? That's right, nothing. Blatant lies get ignored because pointing them out would be impolite and take too much time anyway. Besides, only Democrats and liberals correct right-wing bullshit talking points on the air, and the last thing a corporate newsman can have is a right-wing nut job to call him a liberal. Yeah,
right.
It's the fourth estate, Frank, and we're all fucked.
When did it happen that Ryan Seacrest asked more hard-hitting questions than these people?
And this year,
I mean,
that's when it happened.
It's crazy.
So let's go. So that's why this next clip really stands out so much, Frank, because here's Romney's surrogate, Utah Congressman Chaffetz, is how you say his last name, and he's lying so blatantly that he is making Soledad O'Brien look like Edward R. Murrow. Here we go.
That President Obama did take $700 billion out of Medicare. If we stick to the facts, that's great. Of course, look at that side, look at the other side.
I've now had this conversation 15 times at least, and as you know, it's not taking money out of Medicare. It's a decrease in spending over time, and it's a decrease that you yourself, I'm assuming, voted for, right, in Paul Ryan's budget in 2011 and in 2012. He had that same number in his budget. Didn't you vote for that?
First of all, Frank, I like how she does actually have the facts, but she has to say them in the most gentle way possible.
Right.
Yeah, it's like she's trying to take candy away from a kindergartner. She's like, I know that you guys voted for this, right? The same thing, and you don't want to lie to the nice lady on television, do you? Do you?
Yeah, she says it in a nice way, but I think that clip is the end of her career on ABC, if she ever thought she'd have one.
No, that she's on CNN.
Yeah, no, but I mean, they'll never have her on ABC.
No, she's going to be on the cable forever. She's not. Yeah, she can't go to the networks with
and
that kind of journalism.
And that's very. I wouldn't be surprised if she's in trouble at CNN for that.
Yeah, I bet, because she stood up. Well, she pushes even a little bit more.
He had that same number in his budget. Didn't you vote for that?
It's not exactly the same number.
Not exactly.
Not exactly. I fully expected this guy to stop and say, you're going to have to give me a second here, Soledad, because I never actually had to think through or defend my political positions before. And I mean, I'm a Republican from Utah. All I had to do was say God and personal responsibility, and they gave me the job. Okay? the thing, this guy.
It's like he's in a fantasy world. They're interviewing him from Willy Wonka's chocolate factory.
Really? The thing is, this guy is upset with Obama for the same thing he actually voted for twice.
Yes.
Yes, the Paul Ryan budget cuts the same amount of money out of Medicare, except Obama gives it to seniors with more health services, and Ryan gives it to the wealthy in a tax break. Now, I know that you and I know that. But what Congressman Chaffetz didn't count on was that a CNN anchor would know that too and be rude enough to bring it up.
To present him with the facts.
Yeah.
We are actually, and this is saying a lot, we are living, with Romney Ryan, we are living in a golden age of hypocrisy.
This really is.
Because everything they say
is the opposite.
And there's even, I'm sure you've seen the clip of Paul Ryan speaking on behalf of stimulus money when
Yes.
he was in
Yes.
the Bush administration.
He took stimulus. Sure, they do he made all this money through government contracts. His family has a construction business. He makes all his money through government contracts. He used his Social Security from when his dad died when he was a kid so he could go to college.
They've taken hypocrisy to a whole level no one imagined. Romney and Ryan are like the Dizzy Gillespie and Charlie Parker of hypocrisy. Complete
They really are.
groundbreakers.
I say that Paul Ryan's more of the Elvis of hypocrisy because they won't show him from the waist down. I don't know if you know. All right, so here he is. Here's Soledad pushing back on him one more time.
Done.
But now you're criticizing something that you voted for twice, right? I mean, essentially, you voted for it.
No.
You did in Ryan's budget.
No. It's Soledad. It's a
No, Soledad. Did you go to journalism school? Because I was told that I was doing an interview on CNN, and all of a sudden I'm getting called on my bullshit. You're asking me follow-up questions and everything. What's with this? Is this a news interview or Russia?
I've been sitting here for 5 minutes and there hasn't been one instance of false equivalency yet.
So when all else fails, change the subject, right? And here he tries to change the subject to a budget proposal by Paul Ryan and a Democratic senator named Wyden, except Soledad O'Brien knows about that one too.
Here's what's important. We're going to have to come up with a bipartisan solution in order to make that work. I think Paul Ryan has showed an aptitude to do that by introducing something with Senator Wyden.
Something that
The
includes
president
those
has been in
same
office
numbers.
for 4
Something
years.
that includes those same exact numbers that Republicans are bashing.
That's
It
an
does, and that you-
oversimplification.
Well, it's a very
that's an
complicated issue.
oversimplification.
I mean, listen,
Yes,
you and
it
I, I'm
is.
sure, have both spent way more time than we should have reading the CBO report over the last couple of weeks. I'm positive. But at the end of the day, that same number crunching was voted on by virtually every single Republican in 2011 and then again in 2012. That is fair to say.
The original...
I just think it's like he's going to sit there and go, Soledad, this isn't how this goes. You're supposed to just nod and go yes, and then I'm going to go on to my next talking point. If you don't do that, how am I ever supposed to pivot?
He's so close to just going, la 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 la, I can't hear you, la 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 la.
Yes, that's right. So here they are. She kind of now Ryan's plan turns Medicare into a voucher program, but they can't admit that, so they just deny it, and that usually takes care of any usual corporate reporter. But again, Soledad O'Brien won't have any of it.
The change, what you call saving, is a voucher program, right? You give people vouchers for Medicare.
No, it's not. Absolutely. Soledad, I love being on your program. I'm sorry. It is not a voucher program. It is not. It is a premium support, and that is totally different than a voucher program. And every time somebody says, oh, it's a voucher program, it's false, it's misleading, it's derogatory, and it's inaccurate. That is not what it does. And for those that are 55 years old and older,
give people money to go and buy
their
their own insurance, right? Someone gets a stipend of money to go and...
It's a
But we're arguing over semantics. At the end of the day, isn't it essentially you would give someone money to go buy their own insurance?
No.
That's it. I'm just going to say no. I'm going to say, no. See, I'm going to say it again. No, right? Because vouchers are what Democrats, news people, and fact checkers call it. But I'm a Republican who lives in an alternate universe, and we say it's not a voucher, it's premium support. And I will hold my breath until you give me ice cream.
Is he premium support? Is he, what is he, a phone person from Time Warner Cable? We're giving you premium support right now.
We're premium. See, because Frank, a voucher is where the government gives you a set amount of money and then you go purchase your own health care, right? Health insurance. A premium support is where the government gives you money and then you go buy your own health insurance.
So it's two totally different things. One of those things starts with a V, and the other starts with a P. And has two words in it.
Yeah.
Premium support. The other is just one word.
Yeah.
Voucher. So to compare them.
Yeah, and the words of Tim Pawlenty, can't you speak English? You know what I mean? Those are two totally different words. Okay, so now John Sununu got his chance.
Oh, he's always a font of wisdom.
John Sununu got his chance. By the way, I love John Sununu because he really got his douchebag bona fides when he was accusing Barack Obama. He wanted him to prove himself to be more of an American. Remember, I wanted him to start acting like an American, or prove that he knows how to be an American, or learn how to be an American.
Right.
He said one of those things, and I don't know if you know John Sununu, born in Cuba.
Yes.
To a Palestinian and a woman and somebody
also,
from Ecuador.
You know, but
so he's telling Barack Obama how to be an American. He's an Arab Ecuadorian.
But as a fan, I'm a fan of nostalgia and vintage culture, so I'm glad they're having a guy on who disgraced himself 25 years ago.
Yes, that's right.
He's a retro douche.
He is a retro douche. So here he is. So here he is going up against Soledad, and here she takes him down.
When Obama gutted Medicare by taking $717 billion out of it, the Romney plan does not do that. The Ryan plan mimicked part of the Obama package there. The Romney plan does not. That's a big difference.
But you know, and I understand that this is a Republican talking point because I've heard it repeated over and over again, and these numbers have been debunked, as you know, by the Congressional Budget Office. Yes, they have.
I have the Congressional Budget Office report right here, dated July 24th, from Doug Elmendorf.
He sounds like, I never saw this before. He's the first nerd bully I've ever seen. He's a nerd and a bully. Soledad O'Brien stands up to Sununu by pointing out that his Republican talking points are actually Republican talking points, and Sununu fights back by repeating the same Republican talking points, but this time louder.
He's like a nerd bully saying, I have the very first issue of Iron Man right here in my hand.
Yes. How ironclad is her CNN contract that she can challenge the legendary John Sununu without being sent back to the Xeroxing department? Here we got another clip. Here we go.
Yes, they have.
I have the Congressional Budget Office report right here, dated July 24th, from Doug Elmendorf. Go read page 13 and 14.
I can tell you what
revenues.
It says. Yes, it cuts a reduction in the expected rate of growth, which you know, not cutting budgets to the elderly. Benefits will be improved. The focus is on hospitals.
You know, it is good to hear a news reporter on a major cable network tell the truth. I mean, it reminds me of the old days when anybody cared. Sununu may look like a total douchebag, but to Sununu, this is his charm offensive.
Right.
Yeah. Don't take that tone with me, young lady. Don't you know who I am? I'm John Sununu, and when I grunt out my lies, you shut up and thank me for my time. Obviously, you're in love with a certain Indonesian pot smoker who gutted Medicare.
Have some respect for people from the 80s.
Yes. So he's tried everything, right? So now Sununu has tried. He's tried repeating the talking points. He's tried yelling at her.
The one thing that would have worked, he didn't try, which was stay home.
No, he didn't try.
Not do the interview.
He tried to be a nerd bully. When all else fails, here's what he says to her. Ready?
Soledad, stop this.
Just stop it. Would you please stop it? Soledad, stop this already. Enough with the facts and debunking me. This is television. My mom's watching. Let's see what else he has to say.
Soledad, stop this. All you're doing
is informing the people who are watching the show and making me look like an ass, okay? And I already look like that because of an accident of birth. Would you please stop it?
Stop being logical. Ooh, I brought Spock back into it.
So I just want to play, this was the last clip for the, first of all, Soledad O'Brien, CNN. They actually look like a news network.
Did you see there was a cameraman walking behind her before? I think they were like dismantling her set.
Yeah, because she's out of there. Yeah. I just want to remind everybody that when you hear Mitt Romney, Paul Ryan, John Sununu, Congressman Chaffetz come on and say, what Mitt Romney does is save Medicare. We really want to save Medicare. We're saving it and preserving it. Just remember what President Roosevelt said nearly 1 million years ago.
Let me warn you, and let me warn the nation against the smooth evasion that says, of course we believe these things. We believe in Social Security. We believe in work for the unemployed. We believe in saving homes. Cross our hearts and hope to die. We believe in all these things. But we do not like the way the present administration is doing them. Just turn them over to us. We will do all of them. We will do more of them. We will do them better. And most important of all, the doing of them will not cost anybody anything.
So
wow, I didn't know he'd made a speech this week.
Isn't it amazing that he predicted Paul Ryan's douchebaggery from the 30s?
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
The Republicans are the opposite of Roosevelt because they're actually putting up as a candidate fear itself.
Yes, they are, Frank. They are. So remember that. The next time you hear a Republican or a conservative say that they're trying to save Medicare, remember what President Roosevelt said. Oh, sure they are. Cross their hearts and hope to die. They love Medicare and Social Security. Republicans, they want to make it forever.
And I want to just say to Soledad O'Brien after those segments that we're all really looking forward to your podcast.
Because she's getting fired.